Alex. I was technically first, but no one cares. Oh, everybody cares, Alex. Everybody knows if you're first, you win. You win all the wins is what you win. Alright. So, just give me 2 seconds to fix this. It still says episode 2. We're on episode 3. The Skykeep dungeon, isn't it? Skykeep? Hi, Potato is Life, Alex, Xander Johansson, Christina Stanley, Zeno, Kanil, Alex. Nice. Alright. Yes. Join voice chat. Alright. Is everybody ready for me to go in the dungeon? Do you like replaying games? Sometimes. Sometimes. I'm with family, but I'll join you in a bit. You're still streaming. Nice. So here in a bit, we're gonna have Cece join. Hylian Cece, as some of you may know her. She's a good friendo. Hey, I've been recognized. Yes. Oh, that's weird. It showed the browser when I went to the thing. Alright. So we have to get inside the dungeon, and then we're gonna beat the dungeon. Alright. Oh, actually, I have, give me 1 second, guys. I got something I can show off, I guess. There we go. Oh, these headphones are not big enough for this. Ilya! Oh, so Ilya, you didn't see it. Earlier there was a guy, Zelda, the Zelda collector. He was streaming on YouTube, and he tagged me in a post about his live stream. So I went and joined his live stream in the chat, text chat, like you are now, not like a real voice chat. But he got super excited. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. You're here. I'm a big fan. I'm kind of nervous right now because I was talking to him in the chat." And he was, like, he started naming off you and Daniel and Kayla and was like, "I'm such a huge fan of all you guys." It was really, really cool. It was a live stream on YouTube, so I should be able to find it and send it to you. Like, I'll link to the part where he was getting excited. I watched some of it. I didn't see that, though. So cool. Yes, yes. Yeah. He was a huge fan. I went and got Kayla to join, and then Daniel was at work, I guess. So Kayla joined, and then he got even more excited and was like, saying like he was shaking because he was nervous and stuff. So it was really cool. Who's Ilya Rose? Who is Ilya Rose? She is our awesome friendo. She does voice acting on the channel. She does the podcast when we need a 4th person, or if someone can't make it, she's a special co-host. She has her own channel where she puts up videos once every 2 weeks, which personally I wish she would put up like more often, but I'm sure she's busy, so she can't be bothered. Because editing everything, it's a lot of work, so can't be rude. Alright, so I should honestly probably go back and check stuff, but it's all good. So we gotta shoot the jewel. I want to do more, but it would run out of stuff before I could. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If you're wondering why this is in HD and it looks better than the normal Wii version, I'm playing on an emulator, so that's why it looks a little bit better than normal. I have several scripts though, just can't record until I move. No. So Ilya, if you want to get on the Discord, you are more than welcome to join on the voice chat. I would actually prefer if anyone joined on the voice chat to help like read the comments and stuff. I think Cece said that she might join, and then Chrissy was in the chat saying that she might. Tevi was supposed to join once he gets back to his dorm room. Yes! Join Jacob. What? Anyone? Please. Alright. I might in a minute finishing some scripts for future videos. Nice. Master, I have bad news. The auras of many creatures reverberate throughout this temple. As a result, I can't isolate Zelda's aura. You will not be able to track her here. Given the situation, I suggest you look around to see where we should move next. Also, if you look at the bottom left of the screen, everybody, you'll see like a donation thing, but you can also do super chat. Any donation is much appreciated. It actually doesn't go towards me. It goes to like Daniel and Ilya and everyone else. Oh, it's messed up. So yeah, it goes to pay everybody who helps on the channel. Edible's in the chat. Yeah, Edible, I think he's helped a couple of times on stuff as well. So like, anytime that I don't have time to edit a video because I have a daughter, I get Daniel or someone to help. You don't know who Daniel is? Have you never watched any of the podcasts? Like, we post videos every single day. Like, 7 days out of the week, we'll post 1 to 2 videos a day. Usually 1, sometimes more. Daniel is the co-host on the podcast. I don't see how you don't know who Daniel is. Hello?
Hey, it's Teddy/Shine.
Oh, what's up?
I just got my 2 shiny Lilligans today.
On Pokemon?
Ultra Sun.
Oh, Ultra Sun, yeah, okay. I didn't know which game you were talking about. Some people, actually a lot of people have been playing Pokemon Go lately, so...
My family doesn't talk about that abomination.
Yeah. Oh, Alex in the chat. Here's to help with their pay. Well, thank you so much, Alex. So you're playing Ultra Sun?
Yep. I have it on 2DS XL I finally bought.
Oh, nice.
I got tired of using my brother's 3DS.
I've never played Ultra, any of the Ultras. I think I play... No, I didn't play... No, okay, yeah, I lied. I played Sun and Moon for a few hours, but I didn't really, like, go
Ultra
through
Sun
it.
is basically... You ever played Black and White too?
Yeah.
It's basically kind of like that, extra stuff added.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of cool what they started doing. Like, they would, for the longest time, like, they'd put out red and blue, and then they would put out yellow. And then they'd put out 2 at a time, and then they'd put out, like, the definitive version, or whatever you want to call it, of the game. But they stopped doing that, and what they did instead was they would put out 2, and then they would put out, instead of putting out 1, they would put out 2 more, but they would slightly change it from the actual game. So like
Yeah.
instead of getting gray, we got black and white too. And then instead of getting like whatever sun and moon would have had, you got ultra sun and ultra moon. So I think that's really cool.
Dusk.
Because you get 2 options instead of just the one. Yeah, dusk. I heard some people thinking it was going to be dusk. Some people thought eclipse because when the moon goes in front of the sun. So there's a bunch of different things that they could have done.
I actually did I don't know if you actually did a little theory that if they redid Skyward Sword for the Switch, like when you're getting the pieces for the Triforce, like each trial you actually have to deal with what that is, like wisdom, you gotta solve the puzzle.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Someone in the chat said I had the wrong dungeon name. So
That's fine.
I put Sky Keep. I think this is Skyview. I should have paid more attention. Alright. But yeah, so you were saying you can finish what you were saying.
For all 3. For the wisdom, you have to do like a hard puzzle. You can't get, there's no hints. You gotta do it to test your brain. The power, you gotta do like a straight up fighting like a boss, trying to overpower it.
Okay, so start
Then
over again.
The wisdom would be using your head, because that's what you use the wisdom. The courage, would be a
No,
final
what's this for?
if they remade Skyward Sword.
Okay, if they remade Skyward Sword, are you talking about this, like a specific dungeon or an idea for a dungeon?
Yeah, for the Triforce, when you're doing the trials.
Yeah.
Like the courage, you gotta do fight for so long, and you gotta use your brain, be tactical, because you can't heal. You only have 3 hearts, and whatever shield you have equipped. Power would be, you would have to overpower the boss in a struggle to show that you're willing to go the extra mile to beat the trial.
Yeah,
and
that'd be
wisdom
really
would
cool.
be, you would have to solve the puzzle without any hints. Flat out, there's the puzzle, and you have to solve it.
Yeah. I could see them doing that. Or like, even if they had it in an extra dungeon, like whenever they remade, I don't really think you can call it a remake, but whenever they did A Link to the Past for the Game Boy Advance, they added in the new dungeon, and then when they did Link's Awakening in color, they added the new dungeon to it. And then even with Twilight Princess HD, they added a new dungeon to it. So if they redid Skyward Sword and added a new dungeon to it, then that would be really cool. If they did that to where, like, it was just a really complicated puzzle for the Wisdom, Triforce of Wisdom.
Yeah.
Hey, Zelda Collector's in the chat. Yeah, that's the guy that we were, I was talking about earlier, Ilya. He was the guy that posted about the thing. It's really cool he's in the chat now.
Who are you on with?
Alright, so we got this jewel up here. Motion controls should stay, in my opinion. Yeah, it's really weird, Edible. Actually, Edible, if you want to get on the voice chat in my Discord and chat, you can. And again, thank you, Alex, for the $2 donation. That was really nice of you. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, after Skyward Sword, Miyamoto and Aonuma, they said something along the lines of they loved what they were able to do with the motion controls in Skyward Sword, that they wanted to bring it back for the next Zelda game. So if you went by interviews with Nintendo, then Zelda Wii U would have had motion control, but I guess they drew it back a bit. So it still has motion control, but it's not like how Skyward Sword has motion control. It's like motion control on the 3DS, where you can use the gyroscope to aim or whatever. like how you can aim with it in the 3DS, and then even the Wii U. The Wii U has where you can aim on the Wii U gamepad. Hi, what's up?
What's up?
How's it going?
Nothing, just trying to find someone to talk to.
Oh, cool. Are you watching the stream?
No.
Oh, also, I'm here. Sorry, I haven't said anything.
Oh no. It's all good.
Are you the one doing the stream?
Yes, I am. We're streaming Skyward Sword. There's a lot of people on here. Hi, Tevi, Jacob, RPG, Chrissy.
How's it going, Jesse?
Yeah. If you get
See what you stream.
we're playing Skyward Sword right now.
No, I mean, what kind of games do you stream besides Zelda?
Other Nintendo games, I guess. Sometimes I'll do like a Mario Kart stream with subscribers and other people who want to join. Mostly Nintendo games.
Do you want to join a commentary channel?
I'm pretty busy with my channel most of the time. There's a second podcast that I try to do, and I don't even have time to do it most of the time because I'm already too busy on mine. That's why I have Daniel, Ilya, and some of the other people that you see on my channel to help out sometimes. Because I don't really have.
Can you link it to me?
What?
Can you link it to me?
Well, it's all on the same channel, Game Over Jesse, so it all gets posted there.
Is it on Twitch or YouTube?
YouTube. It's youtube.com/GameOverJesse.
He does stuff on Twitch, but that's only for Fortnite if he's in that type of mood.
Yeah, I'll stream Fortnite on Twitch, but that's it.
Yeah, that's all he'll do.
Yeah. So how are you, Jacob?
I'm doing well. I just got back from work, actually.
Nice.
So.
I'm just chilling. How was your 4th of July?
4th of July was pretty relaxing for me. I didn't really do too much.
Alright, I'm back.
Did everybody else have a good 4th?
Mine was kind of boring.
Yeah.
I only got 5 hours of sleep, and I had to wake up at like 6 o'clock this morning, so...
That's not good.
Yeah, it's
I
not
woke up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3 o'clock in the afternoon. Did you have a busy night?
It was tough to sleep because they're doing instruction on the bottom of the hall, in the basement of the halls.
Alright, well, there's a little bit too many people on here, so I'm gonna move some people for the stream to another chat. Let's see here. Hello?
Hey,
Hello.
what's up?
Okay.
Oh, it's management. Perfect.
Yeah. There's like 2 or 3 too many people in the
Yeah.
thing.
Understandable. Ooh, fresh.
So how far are you into the first temple? I haven't played this game in a while, so I can't.
I literally just I've went through 2 doors so far.
Okay. Did you get to the big room with the 2 giant sculptures?
No.
Okay.
So, like, literally went through the main door to get into the dungeon or the temple. Went down the hallway, went through another door, went to a room, turned right, and went through another door. So.
Ah.
Oh, what the heck?
This is actually the dungeon that I probably hate the most. Actually,
Really, the first one?
Yeah. There was it's just too convoluted for me, and I guess it's because I've played through it too many times. Because it's literally the first dungeon, so when you play through the game over and over, this is the one that you go to. So.
Yeah, that's true. I remember the first time I played this game, I got stuck on this dungeon for about 3 hours before I had to look up a guide.
Oh no, I was stuck on it for a long time. The first time that I went through it. I'm actually kind of stuck on what I gotta do now. Okay, what's this say? 2 doors lead to rooms left and right, but they will only open when the gemstones are struck. One is above, one is below. Okay, I know this part. So, I guess I'm done with this room right now?
I don't think so. There should be a little hidden path.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But
it's on the bottom. You might have to cut out some, like, white grass on the bottom.
Do you guys see the link hat that I got?
Ooh, it's very nice.
Yeah, it's,
I was trying to tell you I liked it. Can you even hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I said that I liked it. Don't even say that.
I just did.
So
hurt my feelings.
The thing that I have trouble getting used to with this is where everything is addressed with the B button on the back of the Wiimote. I keep wanting to hold the B button down, but when you do, it brings up the menu to change your item. I keep forgetting that you just tap it to bring out the item that you have selected. Alright, here it is. Okay. Yeah, you were right. You have to go through the grass. So,
yep.
Actually, really quick, because I got my thing here. When I used to write for Zelda Dungeon a long time ago, it was when Skyward Sword first came out, around that time, for a year or two. I made I made an article about it was ranking all of the dungeons from Skyward Sword, and the owner wanted me to do it. So I'm gonna look it up and see what my list was, where I ranked this dungeon. So it would be Zelda Dungeon, Jesse McCarty, best Skyward Sword dungeons. Alright, Skyward Sword dungeon ranking. Zelda Dungeon. Is this the one that I wrote? Yes! Okay. So, 7 dungeons. From worst to best, I had the Lineru Mining Facility, Skyview Temple. Okay, so Skyview was really close to the bottom. Alright, so I think I remember why I had Lineru Mining Facility. But it was Lineru, Skyview, Earth Temple, Skykeep, Fire Sanctuary, Ancient Cistern, and the Sand Ship. What did I write about the Skyview? It says, I actually enjoyed this dungeon, so I have nothing against it, but while it took me a couple of hours to find it, I actually completed it in what seemed like less than 30 minutes, although when I was making my way through it, I didn't find it challenging. It was easy compared to dungeons I would later encounter, and overall just seemed like a training course. Yeah, okay, I know what it was. So, finding the dungeon after you play the hide and seek with all of the Kikwis, like finding my way back to where the dungeon was, took me a long time because I wasn't familiar with the map. And then I don't agree with what I wrote about it seemed like it took me 30 minutes. That doesn't... Maybe I was just so excited playing it because I finally got to the dungeon, or making your way to the dungeon takes so long that once you're actually playing the dungeon, it seems like it goes by so quickly. Maybe that's what I was experiencing. I don't know.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of. I like how it's kind of like a mix between a forest temple and a water dungeon. Like, Nintendo did a lot of mixing the themes of the dungeons in this game.
Yeah.
Like the ancient cisterns, like half shadow temple, half water temple. This dungeon's half water temple, half forest.
I liked how in the ancient cistern it had like kind of a heaven and hell type of theme to it, where above in the main part of the ancient cistern everything's bright, everything's got like a golden kind of hue, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know, everything's bright and colorful. Then you get down to the bottom parts, everything's dark purple and everything's dead.
It's actually based off of like a Japanese literature kind of thing. Like how like how Rome has like Zeus and everything, Greece, like all those like they have all of those stories. There's supposed to be a Japanese story about it, and like it mixes in with the big statue that is in the center of the ancient cistern.
Mhm.
So like it all kind of works together.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it does make sense.
So I'm looking for a key right now.
Alright, I'm gonna look and see who's all in the chat.
Yeah, I need to go too.
Let's see. Ali D says, who is excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake? Not me, because I never played the original Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, so that was the hardest boss, or one of the hardest boss fights I ever had. So the main boss in it, he had this attack that would like kill one of your members, turn one of your members into like a frog or something like that, so they were basically useless. And then it would, on the last member, it would leave him with 1 HP. So like one's dead, one's useless, one has 1 HP. So how I would and then like every 5 or 6 turns he would heal himself. So what I would have to do is use one character to heal the one that was turned into like a frog or whatever it was, and then I would have to use that character to bring back the dead character to life, and then I would have to use the dead character to attack. So like I kept on having to do that over and over and over, and it got to where it wasn't challenging, it was just the same pattern, basically like a waiting game of doing the same thing over and over. And then it got to where his HP was low enough to where I could not, like, instead of trying to heal everyone on my party, I could use all 3 of them to attack him, but if it didn't kill him, then his next attack would kill me. So it was kind of a wager on like how much HP is this going to take from him, because if it wouldn't have killed him, then his attack would have killed me, but I ended up winning, and it was like one of the best things ever. Final Fantasy 13 had something similar, or 13-2, to where like at the end of it, after you kill the main boss, you end up having to fight like 3 giant dragons. So yeah, it's crazy though. But I like Final Fantasy games. Chrissy in the chat says, I don't see how Jesse talks and plays at the same time. If you notice, while I talk, I stop playing. So
I've tried to like talk and play at the same time, but my sentences end up getting like 50% slower.
yeah.
So, you know, you hear me right now normally talking, and then when I'm playing Crash Bandicoot, you know, it gets really, really slow because I'm trying to focus and trying to talk at the same time, and I can't do both very effectively.
So it's kind of funny. Oh, sorry, Chrissy. Was that you?
Either. I have to on the game fully.
What'd you say? You cut out a little bit.
Yeah, you're cutting out, dude.
Why? Anyway,
Oh, there you are. Oh, the one's in the chat. He's my favorite one.
who?
The one.
He's the one.
Yeah, he has he's in the theory chat a lot. He's really cool. He's friends with a bunch of people that I'm friends with, and we're kind of friends too. So.
He's also one of your Patreons, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
Ah.
I think.
Oh yeah, he's in the Discord.
He might have stopped. Yeah, he says the one. Yeah.
Jacoby said you have skills.
Yeah, he has skills. Good enough skills.
He has the skills to pay the bills.
I wished I could play games and pay the bills. Sadly, I have to talk about games, and then I'll get paid. Which takes a lot more editing.
Well, you got to do something.
Yeah,
you can do what I was doing all day.
Strip?
No.
No, for the love of God.
I would if people paid me.
I would if people paid me.
I don't know what I would want to see less, Jesse stripping or the CDI games.
Oh yeah. No, Jacob.
You can tell them what I do.
Well, you do nails?
Yes.
Yeah, but there's nothing funny about that.
Well, don't tell people I do that, especially at 20 million people on YouTube here.
What? There's 30, but okay.
Whatever.
If there was 20 million, I would be super happy.
You wouldn't be talking to us right now. We'd be talking to somebody who's taking care of your website.
Yeah.
We'd be peons.
Uh-oh, I didn't see that. Thanks, Ilya.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that either.
Crap, I'm trying to do something. Thanks, Ilya.
Thanks, Ilya. We're doing a terrible job. I'm trying to do two things at once. I'm trying to get a script written for my Adobe Premiere class in college, and I'm also trying to put an idea for another script.
Yeah.
So
Ender Gamer, since I guess you're new, I can't really remember seeing your name, but thank you for subscribing. But it's kind of a rude thing to go onto other people's stuff and ask people to subscribe to you.
That's what oh, okay. No, you didn't. No, Ilya, you didn't mess up. No, that's actually a thing that you're supposed to do. I know these stuff.
Spider.
You know, I kind of wish for Breath of the Wild they would have brought back some of like the advanced techniques they introduced in Twilight Princess, like the mortal draw, the stabbing move.
Mortal draw.
Which one was the other one? Was it the Helm Splitter? I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have loved to have a couple of those incorporated into Breath of the Wild, but I understand why they made the decision not to include them. I guess they wanted to focus more on the world rather than the combat. So I think, who knows, maybe for like a Breath of the Wild quote-unquote spiritual sequel, they could both do the open world and maybe reincorporate some stuff.
Alright, so do you want to hear my theory?
Yes, please. I love hearing your theories.
Alright, so my theory is they could have added all of that stuff to the game. So like people wanted traditional themed dungeons, people wanted the techniques to return, all of this stuff. Even Skyward Sword has some of the techniques to where if you knock an enemy down, you can jump on them and stab them, which is the ending blow in Twilight Princess. So it seems weird for Breath of the Wild to not have them, but if they would have added all of that stuff to Breath of the Wild, they wouldn't have anything to add to the sequel or whatever comes next.
That is true.
So it's like if you literally put everything into one game, you have nowhere to progress. So in the next game, they can be like, well, how can we make a game like Breath of the Wild, but make it better? Because you always want to make the next game better. So what did Breath of the Wild not have? No exploration, no theme dungeons, no special techniques. So all they have to do is add all that stuff, and a lot of people wanted like the hook shot, so they can bring the hook shot back, and then everyone will be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see them like introduce like a kind of like a Sheikah built hookshot, where I don't know, maybe do some fancy like swinging with it like you did in Twilight Princess, but kind of amp it up a little bit.
I actually have a better idea. Have you guys seen Shadow of War?
Is that one of the Lord of the Rings games?
Yes,
No.
it's the newest one that came out last year. Anyway, there was a DLC called Desolation of Mordor, which introduced a new character, and they had a grappling hook and a paraglider in it, and that was your different way of like spirit movement. So I can see them doing something like that, what they did in that DLC for the game. Like I could see them possibly doing that, because you have the hang glider, which is in Breath of the Wild, and then you just add a hook shot, and then that's a way for Link to climb up mountains faster. Like you can increase its range by upgrading it, like bring back the upgrade system again, and then increase its range, shoot, and glide. I mean, that would make it a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wait, I
that's how
thought I just got it.
That's how like Shadow of War did it with its Desolation of Mordor DLC. Just a little idea.
That's a good idea.
Whenever you said Lord of the Rings game, I said no. The reason I said no, and this is like me being like a smartass, but
Okay.
there was an interview with the creators of the game that was like, well, why is it not called Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War, whatever? Because someone who's not 100% knowledgeable about the universe, like whenever they see Middle Earth, Shadow of War, whatever, they may not understand
the
that
lore,
it's... Yeah, they may not understand that it is a Lord of the Rings game. And they said that for something... Like, it has to take place between the first movie and the third movie for it to get the title Lord of the Ring. Or Lord of the Rings. And then if it takes place during The Hobbit, then it has to have the title of The Hobbit. But if it takes place in between, it can't have a title. Like, it can't share any of the titles. And it's like very, very strict licensing agreement on the name. So,
that's true.
Yeah.
It is true.
Like, because I thought that as well. I was like, why don't they just call it Lord of the Rings? It would probably not double in sales, but sell a lot more.
It would definitely increase the sales.
Yeah. And
it would, yes.
So that was their answer, where they said, like, I think it takes place sometime between the two, I believe.
But yeah, it takes place between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. So because of that, they can't call it one or the other. Did you guys see the reaction to the Skyward Sword video that I made?
No, I have not yet.
It was the top 10 best and worst of Skyward Sword.
Oh,
I like that one. I thought that was very well put together.
Yeah, so the like and dislike ratio was very, very bad. Because people...
I am hopping on to look at it right
That's because
now.
Skyward Sword is lame sometimes.
No.
Whoa, it is
Yeah.
not. It is not
Sometimes.
lame. It's a great game.
It's too much of the same thing over and over. It is. I mean, I like the story. I like the story, but I just don't like going through the same thing over and over. I get bored easy.
I can't say anything about it because I have not finished it yet, and usually I do not like to give my opinion on something if I have not finished it yet. I think that is doing the game a big disservice.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
the
I just gave up because I got tired of doing the same thing.
the top 10 best and worst of Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild, like, not even exaggerating. So My way of reviewing the Zelda games is, instead of putting like Breath of the Wild review or whatever, I do the top 10 best and worst, because a lot of people would go to the channel and they'll be like, oh, it's a channel dedicated to The Legend of Zelda. They're doing a Zelda review. Obviously, they're going to give it a perfect 10. They're a fan of Zelda. Like, it's going to be incredibly biased. So my way of doing reviews is pick 5 of the best things from the game and then 5 of the worst things. That way you can be even on the likes and dislikes of what you love or hate about the game. And by doing that, I have one of the most popular Breath of the Wild reviews and one of the most popular Ocarina of Time reviews on all of YouTube. So both videos have around or over 500,000 views. And so I did Skyward Sword, and like, okay, so there's about 10% dislikes to the likes on those videos, which is about common. Like, you'll get 1,000 people like the video and then maybe 100 people dislike the video. But on the Skyward Sword video, the dislike ratio, I think the last time I checked, there was like 120 dislikes and 80 likes.
I'm looking at it right now.
Is it basically because
they 70 dislikes?
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it because of the game itself, or you playing it?
No, I'm not playing the game.
What do you mean?
Like, it's where people don't like the game. It's because if the negative comments that I got, which I had so many negative comments, they all started going to like spam or held for review, and it wasn't people saying like, oh, this is a terrible video, you suck, the voiceover crappy or anything like that. It wasn't anything like that. It was all about like, oh, I hate this game sucks, it shouldn't have been made, motion controls crap. So like, all of the people that were disliking the video weren't disliking it because they disliked my video, they disliked it because they disliked the game.
Right.
So it sucks because once you get a lot of dislikes for a video, YouTube won't promote it. So that video's basically dead now.
Rip.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, weren't we working on that script, Jesse, about that video?
Yeah, you did the base of the script, and then I went in and changed a few things.
Yeah, I was wondering like when we were gonna do that, because you were back at E3 and doing stuff, so I was like, oh dang. And then I saw it come out, I'm like, well, alright.
Yeah, no, it got like, so there was the top 10 best the top 10 best things that Ganondorf ever did. And I was going to work on that video, and then I was going to work on the Skyward Sword video, because both video scripts were done around the same time. And I had sent one of the videos to someone to work on, and they ended up not being able to do it because they had other stuff going on, but I didn't find out that they weren't able to do it until like a week or two late. So it put me off schedule, and so I just rushed to do everything as fast as I could, because the 2 weeks that he took to work on the video, nothing really, there was no progress made, so it put me back like a week or two, which really, really sucked.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the scripts you also have in production is a best and worst for Twilight Princess, correct?
I have like the basic list for it done. Like, it's not written out exactly, but like, I have the list of what is the worst and the best, and then I think I have a few paragraphs.
Okay.
So.
Alright.
So what's all the chat saying?
That's
what sucks about that. So many people only dislike because they hate for the game that is actually good, rather than because of the video itself. Shake my head. Yes! And the bad thing is, who was it? Miss Click. One of her favorite games is Skyward Sword. and she did a voiceover on it, and it was like the first video that she's done a voiceover for, like, ever, for any YouTube channel, and it ends up being a video that just dies. So
because all the haters.
Yeah, where like if it would have been Twilight Princess, then the video probably would have done really, really well, but. And where I'm talking now, Chrissy, earlier you're like, I don't know how he talks and plays at the same time. Now you see, I'm not really playing, I'm just walking back and forth like an idiot.
I'm just trying to concentrate on everybody talking, you playing the game, and trying to see what's on.
Game Informer's in the chat. Say hello to
crazy.
Cliff, everybody.
Hey,
hello, Cliff.
Yeah, we hung out with him at E3.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So he actually lives in the area. We went. It was. Oh god, it was a lot of us. We went out for Korean barbecue with Cece.
How was that?
Yeah, Cecilia, she lives in LA.
Right.
So it was her boyfriend, Tara, if you guys know who she is. She does streams on Twitch as well. And I think his name was Brandon. It was one of her friends. And then it was me, Cliff, who is the Game Informer on there. Not to be confused with Game Informer, the magazine. And then Daniel, my co-host, Kayla, my co-host. Ilya wasn't there, but it would be awesome if Ilya could go to E3 with us next year. I feel like there was one or two other people as well, but there was like 12 or 13 of us that went for Korean barbecue. I'd never had it before.
That's fun.
But they bring out like this huge thing of raw meat, and then you just, like, it has a grill on the table, and then you can cook with it. Like you basically cook the thing, but it's really expensive, which I don't understand, because it's like, if I'm cooking it, then why is it so expensive? Yeah, so this is the room that you were talking about. I forgot who mentioned it, but the center room.
Oh yeah, this room. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about.
Ah, so my thing's messed up. No. My Wiimote. This isn't because of bad motion controls for the people in the chat. Says Skyward Sword has bad motion controls. This is because I'm on an emulator. And the Wii can do motion controls perfectly. It's just the emulator doesn't. So, Korean barbecue was an awesome experience. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
So,
people in Skyward Sword say, like, oh yeah, motion controls are great. Mario Odyssey's come out, motion controls are awesome. Like, you hypocrites.
No, so that's the thing. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is the #1 game to ever exist. And that's not my opinion. That is, I forgot what website it was, but they collect every single major publication's review score and average them all together.
Well, it can't be Metacritic, because Metacritic has Zelda Ocarina of Time as #1.
Well, that was the thing, is this website had Ocarina of, because I wrote this article for Zelda Dungeon. It was around the time Skyward Sword came out as well. But for the longest time, Ocarina of Time was the #1 rated game ever. But then Super Mario Galaxy 2 passed it by like 0.1. So like, Zelda or Ocarina of Time was like 9.7 or something like that, and then Galaxy 2 was like 9.8, and I'm like, no. But that's a game that's completely based off of motion controls, like when you do the star bit stuff.
Yeah.
So
To be fair, Galaxy 2 doesn't get as involved. Like, it's heavy on motion controls, it really is, but it doesn't get as involved as Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the most that you were doing with the motion controls in Galaxy 2 was aiming at the screen to get star bits, spinning the Wii remote so you could have Mario do his spin attack, and I want to say the Glidon bird and the rolling ball were the other things that you needed motion controls for.
Can I be honest?
Yes, please be honest.
Yes, please.
I didn't really play it.
To be honest, I never played it. I think it was just meh.
Because I wanted to play through Super Mario Galaxy 1 and beat it before I played through 2, but I never beat 1, so...
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know, that's just one of those things that happen. Oh, does Skyward Sword do the thing that Twilight Princess did and have the heart pieces in the dungeon?
What?
At the end, when you killed the boss, right?
No, like, okay, you're at the front with that jewel right now on my screen, Jesse?
I'm inside of it right now, but yeah. And on the back, there's the heart pieces, yeah. There's lots of Zelda games like that.
I thought that Twilight Princess was the only one that did that.
No,
No.
So Ocarina of Time, there's a few that I can think of. Oh man, I gotta get better.
Gotta get good.
Alright, where's the heart pieces? No, I keep forgetting to use my shield. Because you have to, like, punch with the shield.
I never got good at the shield bash.
I used
Except
to
in Breath of the Wild, I was a boss with the shield bash. Well, it was more of a deflection thing rather than a bash.
Alright. There's one later on that has 4 arms.
Salphos Master, I believe.
He's kind of difficult. Thank you, Ismail, for subscribing.
I do not like the 4-armed Stalfos things in Hyrule.
I'm gonna go to get something to drink really quick. So you guys can talk with the chat while I'm gone for a minute.
Okay.
Alright. And I encourage Game Informer, Cliff, get on voice chat. Ilya, get on voice chat. And I will be back.
Yeah, guys, get on voice chat.
Ilya, he's forcing you
to
listen to him.
So while I'm standing up, look how long
yeah, they can go on and excuse me.
I'm gonna put it right here on my chair. So like it's the entire length of my arm, and I have a pretty lengthy arm.
I gotta wait.
Did you guys do all the DS games?
For Zelda?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played them all. Yeah.
Did you?
No, I have not. The only quote-unquote DS game I've played for Zelda was Link Between Worlds, and that was 3DS.
Yeah, I never played any of them.
Yeah.
I'm not into that small screen.
Yeah.
I like playing on my TV all the time.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe one day they will remake those games in HD with like the Wind Waker gameplay style. Who knows?
That is one I would like to play, is Wind Waker. That looks really cool.
Wind Waker and Skyward Sword are the 2 main 3D Zelda games that I have not beaten. And it sucks because I got to one point in Wind Waker. I always get to one point in Wind Waker, and then I end up just stopping. And I don't know if it's just 'cause it's something in the game that keeps me from going forward, or if it's just I get busy. But I always get to one point in Wind Waker that I just stop.
That's funny. I stopped on Skyward Sword at the boat with the skeleton guy. I couldn't get past him. And then, because I played the game late, I didn't play it when it came out. It was like right before Breath of the Wild kind of came out, and I kind of was like, I hate when I don't finish a game, but I guess I kind of lost interest with the motion control and blah, blah, blah. And then Breath of the Wild came out. I wasn't waiting. I could not wait. I had to play that game, and I do love it.
Yeah. So really, really quick before Jesse gets back, I want to give a big... I need to wait for his name to pop back up. Come on. we go. Give a big thank you to Artemission for subscribing. Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
So what are you guys wanting for the next big Zelda? Whether it be like a 2D game or a 3D game?
Oh, I don't know. What the heck is that?
Alright, I'm back.
Oh.
Did you guys see a ghost while I was gone?
3D, 2D.
No.
Wait, what's the difference?
Although I could have sworn that Goku statue waved at me a little bit.
Okay, so the 3D is what you got in Breath of the Wild. 2D is what Link Between Worlds and... That's sexy, Jesse. Anyway,
3D.
No, wait, hold on. You may not be answering
3D,
correctly.
3D.
What are you talking about, 3D?
What's the difference between 3D and 2D? 3D, it's...
No. So here's the thing. There's two different ways you could look at this. Like, there's the 3D Zelda games, like Ocarina of Time. There's the 2D Zelda games, like A Link to the Past, but there are 3D games, like A Link Between Worlds, which are actually in 3D, with the 3DS.
No, I don't like that.
So I don't know.
I don't
what
like
you
looking
mean.
down on the game. I like Breath of the Wild.
You like the behind-the-back camera angle.
Yes.
Okay. Because I've had people ask that same question, but they were talking about, like, what's the difference playing it on a 2DS and a 3DS? Where, like, one's 3D, but it's technically a 2D game being played in 3D. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to make sure that it was the right thing.
I was just giving, like, normal examples. Like, I was going to go in depth with, like, Link Between Worlds and, like, Link to the Past being, like, 2D but has 3DS type features, 3D type features to it. So I was gonna go into that. So no problem.
Got it.
So are any of you guys gonna try to go to E3 next year?
I want to.
I want to as well.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to though,
Yeah.
because I finished college the same week.
Yeah. So
I might have to wait another 2 years.
For me, E3 was like
End all be all.
I was gonna say I probably spent like $1,500 altogether.
Oh wow. Well, that's not bad. That's not bad because that's as much as I spent last year just getting a Switch, games, and a PS4 and the games to go with the accessories. So.
Is that including your flight and all that?
Yeah. So. E3 costed, it's like $250 for a ticket unless you get in for free. My flight was about $700 or $800 altogether.
And then the hotel and stuff probably was like
so
the extra.
Kayla, Daniel, and Rick, or RMFH, we all shared an Airbnb that costed around $400 to $500 each. So that right there would have been like, around $1,500 or $1,600, and then whatever I spent on food and everything else while we were there. So it probably would have been closer to $2,000. So. I was hoping it only would have costed $1,000, but I waited too late to buy my plane ticket, so the price went from like $400 to $700.
Oof.
I just might drive down there next year since I live like in Idaho, so it's like no big deal. But traffic sucks, I've heard, so it'll be like ass.
So the cool thing is there's so much stuff that happens outside of E3, like literally right outside of the convention center, that there's still tons of stuff you can do whether or not you have an E3 badge. Like this year PlayStation had a setup where you could like, I mean, I don't know why you would do it. I'm not interested in baseball, but they had like a batting range to promote MLB The Show.
My brother is obsessed with MLB The Show. He loves those games.
Yeah. Well, that would be something cool for him to do, I guess. And
Yeah.
they had a bunch of what was it? There was yeah, okay, so there was a stupid thing that was there where they had this game, it was a racing game, plugged into, like, it had the racing chair that I think kind of moves with you as well. Like, to give feedback from, like, cars going around turns and stuff. Which was cool. But they had 3 TV screens, like 3 giant 4K TV screens set up, like, side by side to make it look like ultra wide. Which would have been cool, but my thought was, why don't they just have a VR headset for them to put on? Instead of these...
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Big, huge screens taking up all that.
So instead of having 3 giant... Because they were like 3 60-inch TVs. That would have costed probably like $1,000 each. And then you could have just paid however much it costs, like $600-700 to get a really good VR headset. Because Daniel played this VR game called Get Out or something like that, Escape the Room, I think. Were you guys able to go to the Microsoft's event? No, we didn't go to the Microsoft event, but that was another thing that they said, that to go into the Microsoft thing and play all of the Xbox games, I don't think you needed an E3 pass. You just needed to be like, to show up. Because it's really stupid. Microsoft said, like, because they're doing a thing where they're like, oh, we're not part of E3, we're doing our own thing that they started doing like 2 years ago. But their thing happens right next door to E3, during E3. And it's like, you can say you're not a part of E3, but this is still E3. Like,
yeah. Not to mention, they called it their E3 press conference.
yeah.
Like, you can't say that you're not a part of E3 and say, oh, hey, here's our E3 conference. That you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I think they do it because they want to like stand out. But it was really cool. We went to the game spot because they had the Kinda Funny on stage, which is the people that sort of inspired me. So like, Game Over Greggy inspired Game Over Jesse, obviously, and
Yeah.
I was actually able. He was the first person that I interviewed on my channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like, I'm not friends with him, but like, we're buddy. Yeah,
maybe.
like we've spoken a lot, we've met in person, but we're not like friends or whatever. But anyways, so he had a thing where he was hosting a GameSpot thing, and it's hard to talk because I'm trying to do this thing with the beetle. Alright.
Yeah, I see you getting all those rupees.
So, he had a thing where they were doing that, and they had, I don't think it was Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer's like the president of Xbox.
Yeah.
Like Iwata was for Nintendo. So I don't think it was him, it was the guy who's like their social media person. What is it? He has like an army type name.
So let's see.
He's head of Xbox Live. So
I'll look that up. Head of Xbox Live.
yeah, his Twitter name has like something to do with like an army thing, like Colonel or something like that.
Well, it says here that it's Phil Spencer.
No,
that's
he's
head of Xbox Live.
No, okay, hold on.
Well, I might be looking this up wrong.
Alright, so I think it's Major Nelson. Yeah, so Major Nelson.
Okay, I was looking something up wrong.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So yeah, it says his real name is Larry Herb, but his Xbox gamer tag is Major Nelson. And on social media and everything, he goes by Major Nelson. Okay, so they were interviewing him, and he's the head of Xbox Live. So, what am I doing here?
Okay.
I'm gonna drop down. I don't think I should.
Go for it.
Did I just mess up something? No, okay, I think I'm supposed to be here. Alright, so they had Major Nelson on, and it was right after like the Nintendo Switch debacle, where people tried installing Fortnite, but then they weren't able to log into their account because of PlayStation. And he had this thing that he said that's like, he doesn't know why PlayStation's doing that. They think it's because PlayStation has like twice as many PlayStation 4s sold as Xbox One. So PlayStation's thought process is like, why should we help out the other consoles when we have literally doubled the sales that they have? And like, Xbox is trying to play nice with Nintendo so they can look like the good guys so more people will buy Xbox. But PlayStation looks at it as everyone already owns a PlayStation, so they can just play with each other on PlayStation.
Well, I mean, I don't own a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but like, that's just the way that PlayStation looks at it from
Yeah,
what
that's
I get.
true.
But so they had him on talking to him, and then he was talking about like, what games do you play lately, and he was mentioning like Nintendo stuff. But it was really cool because it was like the head of Xbox Live, and he's like 2 feet in front of me. There's something else with I posted the picture on my Facebook. I don't think I have any of you on my Facebook though, but
Yeah, I don't think you do.
it was Kojima, Hideo Kojima.
Oh yeah.
So YouTube was doing their YouTube Live event, which you don't need an E3 pass to go to, where YouTube was interviewing like all the game developers and everyone. Jeff Keighley, who hosts the Game Awards, was the host for YouTube Live. And he was interviewing Hideo Kojima, which is like one of the most popular game developers aside from Shigeru Miyamoto. And it was really weird because he was like 5 feet in front of like Daniel, Kayla, Holly, and everyone. Like, we were all there, and he was like 5 feet away, and I'm like, this is almost like being like, you know, breathing distance away from Miyamoto.
Yeah.
So
and actually, speaking of Hideo Kojima, he was kind of one of the reasons why I thought that they weren't gonna bring back Snake for Smash Brothers, because I know in the past, Sakurai has mentioned that one of the reasons why he put Snake in Brawl was because he was such good friends with Mr. Kojima.
Yeah.
I think it was like a request from Kojima's son, I think.
Oh yeah,
Don't
yeah,
quote
I
me
read
on
that as well.
And so I thought, well, with all the falling out that Kojima and Konami had,
out of respect to Kojima, he wouldn't put him in there.
Yeah, that's the mindset that I had. So when Snake got announced for Smash Ultimate, I went nuts.
Yeah, so that
I couldn't believe it.
That's really interesting as well, and like, a lot of people were of the mindset that like Nintendo doesn't want to have to like pay the licensing fees to put Snake back in their games. That's why he wasn't in the Wii U version. But I look at it as every developer, like in interviews and stuff, whenever they're asked, they're literally begging for any of their characters to be put in Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
so
I know,
I don't think Nintendo,
that,
like, Nintendo wouldn't have to pay any licensing fees. Like, people would pay Nintendo for their character. Like, everyone is talking about, like, Banjo-Kazooie being in Smash Brothers.
I know Phil Spencer's come out and said he would love to have Banjo and Kazooie in Smash. I know Way Forward was really pushing Shantae when the Smash Ballot was a thing.
Oh, this isn't working right. Okay, there it is. Yeah, so a lot of people were thinking like, oh, like it would be too expensive for Nintendo to get a Microsoft character like Master Chief or Banjo-Kazooie in there, and Nintendo wouldn't want to pay that money. And in my head, I'm like, no, I don't think Microsoft has enough money to pay Nintendo to allow their character to be in the game. Like, I think it would be the other companies paying Nintendo so they could have their characters there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, Smash Brothers would have every character in it.
Yeah.
Who else still in voice chat? Is it just you and me?
It's
Retro.
me. Yeah, Retro is on mute.
Hello.
Stupid Retro.
Oh, there he is.
Did you see the video of Daniel playing your game, Retro?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he was playing your game at E3. Everybody loved it.
Sweet.
Yeah. We got pictures with you while at E3. Did you see those?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody watching right now is like, what? What? I don't. Why? How?
Oh,
How did you get pictures with
okay,
Retro?
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
Now.
I had to. Oh man.
Yeah.
So since we were on the topic of Smash Brothers, who did you guys think was probably the most shocking inclusion for
Daisy.
Smash Brothers?
A Link Between Worlds. Zelda.
Ah. Yeah, I didn't think that they were gonna change her design at all.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the Twilight Princess Zelda or Breath of the Wild Zelda, but it was A Link Between Worlds. So I was like, that was really weird for me.
Yeah. I think it was kind of weird seeing the Link Between Worlds design for Zelda
In
with
3D,
like the
without
with
being the chibi design.
Yeah, with proportions of like Twilight Princess or Link to the Past, or at least the Link to the Past art. Anyway.
That's not to say it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, she looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
How it looks.
Actually, I think for me the most shocking inclusion was was Pichu. I never thought they were gonna bring Pichu back.
Nah, man, Pichu's the best character.
But
All these dang Deku Babas.
oh my.
Why did
that's so
Chrissy
bad.
and Jacob leave?
I
don't
know.
know.
I know that Jacob had to leave because he had to go do something. I'm not sure about Chrissy.
Cece's supposed to get on sometime. She texted and said she would get on, but she's eating dinner right now.
Yeah.
So. I really wish
need
they
more
would,
people.
if they ever redid Breath of the Wild, if they put it on another console, I would want them to remove, like, all of the fog from the game.
Oh my goodness, that would look so crazy.
Because
Yeah.
it makes the game look, like, in certain places, it makes it look like there's a white haze over everything, like the colors are kind of washed out.
Yeah.
There was even a fan mod that tried to make the colors more vibrant, but it still has that white hazy look over everything. And if you like, if you don't know, like, people in the chat, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just compare a screenshot of Link in Breath of the Wild, or like an area in Breath of the Wild, to a screenshot of like Ocarina of Time, to where you can see the color normal, and there's like it just looks like there's a layer of fog where someone took like a transparent like when you're at school and they have the projectors and they like put the
like
stuff
the
on the
screen down.
projectors. Yeah, it looks like there's just like a white screen placed over the actual game. Another example is if you watch the first trailer they showed off of Zelda Wii U, where it's Aonuma giving the presentation, and then it has the Guardian chasing Link while on Epona to the bridge, and then Link jumps off and shoots the Guardian in the eye.
Yeah.
With the arrow, like the very first thing they showed off. Compare what that looks like to the color of the actual game, and it looks like it's running on like a $10,000 PC compared to what the Switch looks like.
Yeah.
Alright.
That trailer was absolutely beautiful, though.
Yeah. And then Nintendo's...
Which one?
The initial trailer for Zelda Wii U.
Yeah.
Okay.
I keep doing it too soon.
I know that they ended up, like, around when the Wii U was first, like, announced, they had, like, a Zelda tech demo that borrowed a lot of assets from Twilight Princess.
Oh yeah, that was, so the crappy thing about that, Aonuma said that if they ever made an HD remake to Twilight Princess, that trailer was designed to show off what it could look like. But then when they actually did Twilight Princess HD, it just looked like the Wii version, but in HD.
Yeah, with smoother graphics, and maybe a couple of colors changed.
Yeah, like they added new
Wait,
lighting.
there's colors in Twilight Princess?
Well, no, so the lighting in the GameCube version, and the Wii or the GameCube did this, or not the GameCube, Wind Waker did this as well, where it makes the colors kind of dull. But Twilight Princess did it as well, but because Twilight Princess was made to look kind of dark and hazy, it did it even more. But the lighting in Twilight Princess HD was supposed to change the way that looked, and then they redid some of the textures to make the game look a bit more vibrant. So,
yeah. Like when the game was initially announced, like Twilight Princess HD, I saw the trailer, and I sat there thinking, you know, this is nice having Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U, but this looks pretty much like the Wii version. It's not until I saw like a side-by-side comparison of the GameCube version and the Wii U version was like, okay, they definitely made a big improvement.
Yeah.
Did he cut out, or did I?
No, I think he cut out.
Okay.
If you guys hear like something weird, it's the Wiimote.
I can hear the sound of
I've been hearing the beetle little flapping.
Yeah. So I'm almost at the boss.
Which we're gonna see everyone's favorite pretty boy in a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, Mr. Sexy.
Yeah. Oh, I love his playstyle in Hyrule Warriors. Like if you know how to use him, he is dangerous.
My friend played him. His favorite thing to do is to just press the heavy attack button to make him lick his sword. And I'm just like, is that all you want to do? He's like, yeah. I'm like, alright.
I think my favorite combo for Girahim in Hyrule Warriors is
Oh, I just subscribed somehow.
Subscribe to me?
Apparently.
Yeah, Peter Parker / Spider-Man.
I'm so confused.
It's
Wait.
Parkerception right here.
It hasn't popped up and said you subscribed, has it?
Yeah.
It popped up for me.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, I think my favorite combo for Girahim is the combo where he takes his sword and he slashes it to the right and creates a orange projectile beam. It goes out and hits the opponents, and then he summons like this giant field of Demise's swords, and then he spawns like 4 like demon bokoblins to go out and just whack stuff.
There was a bokoblin that came up behind me, but I didn't. Like, he came out of nowhere.
Like, came out like behind you on the tightrope?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
But there, like, he wasn't behind me before. Like, he showed up as soon as I got on the rope. Like, you can see me looking right now. There's no bokoblins anywhere.
Yeah, that. Wow.
But watch. Okay,
Thanks,
so
Scout.
none
Thanks, Scout.
anywhere, and I'm gonna get on. All right. And there it is again.
Oh, your shield broke.
So
Well, I mean, you don't need the shield for Girahim's boss fight, do you?
no,
Well,
Okay.
the shield just makes everything easier.
but just look, there it is.
What the heck?
Yeah, and like you seen me turn around, look everywhere to make sure there wasn't one. Yeah. So, I'm gonna, I think Miss Click is streaming right now, so I'm going to go to her stream, and because she's going to stop streaming sometime soon, I think. And I'm going to tell her if she wants to be nice, she can do a raid onto my channel when she finishes.
Oh, a raid?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Raid. I do like how for Skyward Sword they treated the boss keys a little bit different. Where like,
Yeah, like the
you know,
opening the door is a puzzle as well.
yeah, I like that. It's a bit annoying for a couple of them, but I do like the concept.
Rounds in the tournament, and it's nothing but Waluigi,
I mean, if anything, it's better than
Bowser.
any of the dungeon stuff they did for Breath of the Wild, which the dungeons had good puzzles. It's just like they all just kind of blend in together because you had the same theme of, okay, go into the dungeon, get the map,
Leave me alone.
locate 5 terminals, go beat the boss, and get your heart container and get out.
See, and then I make my joke again. Breath of the Wild had dungeons?
Oh,
Skyward
man.
Sword. Yes. Jesse is actually streaming the Skyward Sword this week, so we'll make sure we have to stop by. Another Kuga. Alright, we'll try it. We'll try it. Should move away from Florida just because of that.
I forget who said it in the chat earlier, but
Alright, she said she would.
yay.
Man.
I know that I know somebody in the chat earlier said that they would like to have a co-op 3D Zelda game. Like kind of a I guess like a Four Swords Adventures.
Does everyone forget about Triforce Heroes? Because I feel like everyone forgets about Triforce Heroes.
Do you want to know
Well,
who
I
else
mean, in
wants
like
a
in like a
3D
foot-
Zelda game?
What?
I said, do you want to know who else wants a 3D Zelda game?
Who does?
Alanuma. Whenever
Like
Breath of the Wild released, Alanuma said that he wants to take what he learned from Triforce Heroes and apply it to the Breath of the Wild engine.
Oh, I would love that.
So,
And there you go. That's that. You already got the perfect setup for Breath
So
of the Wild
Ilya-
sequel.
Ilya in the chat says, we need, with need capitalized, to forget about Triforce Heroes.
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I can't say anything about it. I haven't played it.
Like, I can't say it was, like, the best Zelda of all time, but, like, it wasn't terrible.
It looked different.
You just needed some competent friends to play with. That's
Yeah, that was definitely one of the big complaints about the game that I saw, that the single player wasn't very fun because,
Oh, it's dreadful solo.
well, Triforce Heroes was designed to be more of a multiplayer game rather
Yeah.
than a single player game.
Yeah.
It's the same problem that Metroid Prime Federation Force had.
Okay,
where-
so
Okay, that's a
Yeah.
game we don't speak of.
I want to say really quick, with
Okay.
Breath of the Wild, a lot of people forget this, was originally supposed to be a multiplayer game.
Really?
When Zelda Wii U was first, like, ever spoken of, like, before we got a trailer, before anything, it was when Aonuma showed off during a Nintendo Direct Wind Waker HD for the very first time. After he showed off Wind Waker HD, he showed this document-looking thing where it wasn't a document, it was just like a white screen with text on it. And he said that, like, he hopes everybody enjoys Wind Waker HD while they're working on the next new Zelda game. And he said, like, what people should expect for Zelda Wii U. One of them was, what was it? He said, like, they were all, he listed 3 things, and he said they were supposed to be, like, redefining what Zelda is. So, like, he wants you, I'd have to look it up to find, like, the exact wording, but he wants to redefine, like, the pattern or whatever of what Zelda is. And one of those things was, like, going to dungeons in any order, which is what he did in Breath of the Wild.